Hey, how's it going, guys, and welcome back to another weekly recap of Old School Runescape. So we started off the week stating that we had a very important free-to-play discussion to happen this Sunday, which was streamed last night on the Runescape Twitch channel. And if you haven't seen it, you're definitely going to want to catch up and give it a look.
So let's get down to the crux of this thing, what you want to hear about free-to-play.
So you can find the highlight to that by clicking the link on your screen or in the description. But let's move on to the updates. So we've recently made some adjustments to Zulrah's drop table, including the reduction of drops like Tourstol seeds, coconuts, and Zulrah scales. That being said, Zulrah still remains an excellent moneymaker for players confident in their snake slaying abilities, and in addition, you'll also be able to catch Modron and stream his loot from 1000 Zulrah kills live over the RuneScape Twitch channel at 9 PM GMT this Wednesday the 28th, so stay tuned for that. In other news, we've updated your banks to allow you an additional 200 bank spaces, so now all Old School players, free-to-play or members, can no longer worry about not having enough space for their items. And on top of that, as decided by the players, Ava's devices have received a rather interesting update, as these devices can now grab ammo whether there's an obstacle in the way or not. Moving on, we've also introduced a northern entrance to the West Varrock Bank to allow for easier access to the nearby agility shortcut. And we've also made some minor visual changes to the maple logs and yew logs, and this was done to combat people from confusing them and potentially being scammed. And lastly, we've made some changes to the way looting works in player vs. player. So as always, if you die, your items are dropped on death to the player that killed you. And after 1 minute, these items become visible to everyone. This has not changed. However, in order to discourage looting during disconnections, only players that have not logged out since the items were dropped can see them. And these changes only affect PvP loot, as dropping items in PvP areas has not been changed. In other news, battle tortoises no longer block players from walking into them. Deposit all buttons for your inventory, worn items, and looting bag have also been added to bank deposit boxes. The options on monkfish fishing have also been rearranged, so the left-click option is net. And you can no longer receive a clue scroll if the priestess in Zolander is protecting one for you. Moving on to this week's poll and question number 1, which was asking if you'd like the Grand Exchange to be accessible through the existing trading posts, and it's not looking too likely this one will pass. Question number 2 asks if you'd like unidentified herbs to be renamed Grimy herbs so that they can be listed in the Grand Exchange, and it seems that people are voting for this option. And questions 3 and 4 ask if you'd like NPCs near the Grand Exchange to decant potions as well as jewelry, both of which also seem to be passing by a considerable amount. And finally, we asked if you'd like Varrock's Western Bank to be made wider as it used to be, with a row of bankers on each side, which is currently barely failing, but has potential to make a swift return. So be sure to head to those poll booths soon to make sure you get your votes in before the 28th of January. Moving on to the Q&A we had this Thursday, where we addressed your questions on recent and future updates. However, ModReach also decided to give you a sneak peek of the upcoming achievement diaries.
And again, we've got back the Varrock armor sets. So obviously this is the armor piece you get from completing the easy tasks.
So you can watch that highlight back if you missed it via the links below. And aside from that, that sums up this week of Old School RuneScape. So be sure to subscribe to keep up to date with the game. And aside from that, guys, well, thank you for watching and catch you next week.